man?
Yo, it's definitely Cloud Chasing TV, man. We back up in this thing again, you dig? Hey, man, we got some news to report. You feel me? We gonna get to it when it comes down to OG or legend. You feel me?
Right.
Yo, family, let these people know your name and where you exactly from.
I'm from West California. My name Kevin. You know they call me Big Stretch.
Got you.
I'm
And
out the
like,
projects, you know.
yeah. So you like,
Well, Nixon Garden, huh?
so you out the projects, Nicholson Gardens. I
Yes,
got you.
sir.
So like man, tell us a little bit about your upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Was the 80s or the 70s?
I'm a 70s baby, man. I was born in 1970 to be exact. I'm 51 years old.
Got you. So like when it came down to it, like when it, you coming from being the 70s babies and you going into the 80s, like shit, what it was like, family.
You know, the 80s was a different time. It was a different time. It was crazy, but it was a little more. It was way different. You know, growing up in the 80s. You know, gang banging was totally different. The streets, the neighborhoods, everything was a lot different. Amongst the older blacks, there was a lot of more unity, but the gang banging was a lot different. You know, we had to go to school in certain areas. We all had to use the same school. Different sections. Different projects. We all had to go to this certain, school together. So, it was like almost like a war zone. It was melees and it was crazy. It was off the chain. It's a
No
vibe.
doubt.
Um,
So when you coming from that type of environment, like what age did you actually like had to jump off the porch, or like, you know what I'm saying, like the means was, it was necessary.
it's crazy. I was talking to my girl the other day about this. You know what I'm saying? I jumped off the porch young. You know what I mean? Actually, going up in Watts, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta get off the porch. It's right there. But I jumped off the porch, elementary really. Had to. I grew up in the projects. I had to fight bullies. I'm the oldest of two brothers. I have two younger brothers. So, I had to protect them. You know what I'm saying? And fighting bullies and growing up in the projects, getting chased home and you know what I'm saying? And your mama telling you, nigga, you don't run, you better fight. You know, my mom be like, which one you had a problem with? I ran home one day. It seemed like the whole school was chasing me. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to fight one cat. I look up, there's a whole bunch of people. When I got to the house, my mama said, actually, I was running to the door, bro. And she looked out the window because I was yelling my mama's name. It's like 30, 40 kids behind me. Most of them were spectators. And my mama looked out the window, she opened the door, then she closed the door. So I thought she unlocked it. When I got to the door, it was locked. And I'm like, that feeling at that moment, I didn't know what to think. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I thought my mama just was like, I didn't know what was up. I'm like, dumb. And I turned around and, to face the music. I'm standing on my project unit, and I'm looking at 20, 30 kids, you know what I'm saying? And they laughing. Your mama left. When she didn't leave, she locked the door, and she came around the front, without the front door, and came around. And when she came around, she said, I ain't raised no punk. Which one of them you got a problem with? I pointed him out. She said, whoop his ass. And I whooped his ass. After that, I didn't have no more problems, you know what I mean, as far as that was concerned. But I still had to fight bullies every day, You fighting the dudes who got 4, 5, 6, 7 big brothers, and it was a different playing field, man. Gang banging and all, like you didn't even have to gang bang to be accused. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Because
no
if
doubt.
you lived
No
on one
doubt.
side of the projects, or you lived on one side of the street, and that neighborhood was that, the kids from the other neighborhood gonna consider you a part of that. So peer pressure was real heavy back then. It still is today, but it was real heavy. And then it was like you had no choice anyway. I'm going home, even if I didn't game bang, I'm walking home to the kids that live where I live, and here come the other gang, and they chasing us. They're not gonna say, "Oh, they're gonna get you too." We was sitting in class, and dudes used to come. The other gangs, opposite gangs come, and they looking in the classrooms, and they'll be looking in the classrooms, and like peeking through the windows, like who, see if it's, you know, opposition's up in there. And if they see something, which I've been in there, and we had homies that came to the, hey, they coming, and we running out the classroom. You know what I'm saying? But teaching was a lot different too. School, they'll pass you. They ain't care if you did the work or not. There was really no help from the teachers as far as like if you was getting jumped by some gang members or anything like that. They didn't get involved. They didn't call security. They just looked. And I not only witnessed that, I was a part of that. I came out of class one day for a break, and about 6, 7 gang members, from the other side came. They jumped me. I'm fighting back with 6, 7 guys. Teacher didn't do nothing. We went right back into class and sat down, busted the lip, and continued school. So it was a lot different back then,
Yeah, no doubt. So like, with the influence of music, like was music heavy in the influence in your neighborhood, even with all this going on?
Yeah, music was, um, I grew up on music. Our parents, they played all the oldies and stuff like that. But later in the years, my brother and them got in the rap game. Actually, my brother did the first Banging on Wax, Power Love, and all of that. I had a brother that was on the Crip side, and so I grew up around a lot of music. My brother was signed with Death Row. Um, music touched the soul. You know what I'm
What
saying?
was your brother name, man? What was your brother name? Let him know.
My brother now, aka Lil Stretch. We call him
Yes,
Bo
sir.
Lucci. Yes, sir. Young
So like,
Soldiers, um, Big Wad, the Relatives, Sugar Booger. My brother and them, they was all, did all of that together. It was a team. They just got in the studio and they did their stuff. Signed with Death Row. I knew Suge personally. Um, my brother and them signed out of the contracts. They were with Death Row. I've been around my brother with Suge, Pac. I know Suge, like I said, personally. I got a lot of stories about him and I. But like, blacks were a lot different back then in the 80s and 70s and 80s. And maybe a little bit of the early 90s. The gang members had more morals, I could say, even though, it's maybe, not the word to use in a sense, but when it came to that, the youngsters today, they don't have, it's like no respect.
right. So like when it came down to it, so like you said, even Suge was going around, and a lot of people would say like Suge was bogarting around that time, like when it came to like Bad Boy, and other record labels, like was that something that was going on the West?
Yeah, Suge was, he was a model. Suge was a true businessman. So it's kind of, crazy you brought up. So I might as well go ahead and tell the story because it's facts. I met Suge in 1993. I just got out of prison. So did my homeboy, rest in peace now, OG Big Green Eyes. And we got a phone call because Harry O was the one that gave Suge that money to start Death Row. And
Right.
he used to be denying that. But it was facts. So Harry O sent one of the homies, was getting out and told him go hook up with me and Big Green Eyes and get with Suge about getting his money. So a lot of dudes used to go down there to try to get this money from Suge. You see the Ozone Cats and some of his partners at the bottoms. But at the time, Suge had a lot of real gangsters around him, surrounding him as far as security. You know what I'm saying? And most of them was Compton Pyrus, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them was my homies. They rest in peace. It's crazy. A lot of people got killed around this doing this stuff. Haron, rest in peace. That was my partner, Montreal. Actually, these all the names that Pac missing on the CD. But to make a long story short, in '93, me and my homie Green Eyes and two more people, we went to, it was four of us, went to Interscope Records. It's 1993 when Silk was doing all this. He wasn't sending Harry on no money. He wasn't hearing nothing from nobody. He was, like you said, bullying. Me and three other my homies walked up to Interscope Records. Facts. No guns. I knew who Suge was, didn't know what he looked like. And I was not told that this is who we going to holler at. But we was told that I'm going to show you this guy, and I want y'all to bring him back to me. And y'all can pay for it, that's it. Easy call. We walk up in the Interscope. We standing around, white people looking at us and stuff. We just looking around. And Suge comes out the side office with this white guy. He's talking to him, writing some stuff down. And the homie said, that's the nigga right there, man. Bring that nigga to me. And my big homie Green Eye said, come here, nigga. And Suge looked and said, shit, I gotta take care of something. And he made a beeline towards the elevators. You know what you like, power walking? Mm-hmm. So he realized he wasn't gonna make it on the elevators, and he hit the stairs, and we chased him up the stairs, bro. I'm right behind him. And
Big Suge.
Big Suge, bro. This is 1993. Facts. If I'm
yes,
not putting my legs off right now. Huh?
Say yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we chasing him up the hallway. Interscope Records, till he's trying to get to Death Row to his floor where, his bodyguards is at. So I'm behind him and I'm like, come here, nigga. And I told you I gotta do something. But he's trying to get to that office. So my G homie I said, Stretch, don't let that nigga in one of them doors and close that door on us. I'm like right on his heels. And I'm like, check it out. Nigga hurt. I'm trying to stop, he won't stop. I'm behind him. I'm like, come here, nigga. So he tried to, when he grabbed the door to go in, I kind of like hit him with the OG clip with the foot. Boom! He stumbles up in the office and startled everybody in there. But the door didn't close. I was right behind him, busted the door open. And all the bodyguards in there, maybe 15, 20 deep. They like, Suge, what's up? He's like, I don't know, man. These niggas talking about I gotta go talk to their homeboy. And my G homie Green Eyes stepped into the nigga face like this and said, nigga, I'm OG Green Eyes. Nigga, you finna go down here and talk to Carlos. What Suge didn't know at that time was that my homeboy Green Eyes was a 5-star general on the council under UBN, which is president, Okay, so several of them dudes that was in there was his comrades, and they was up under him. So usually anybody come up in there, they gonna maul you. So when they didn't move like usually do, Suge knew, these niggas must be somebody. Cause my homie said, nigga, this, told him this nigga finna go down here and talk to Carlos. Let's go, chap. And we escorted him back downstairs. White folks and everybody. Oh, it's funny. Snoop pulls up in a limo. He didn't even get out in the underground parking. He seen all of us in the underground parking. He stayed in the limo. So Suge goes and he talked to the homeboy, and $500,000 check was signed to Harry O, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's true story facts. Now,
got you.
I say about a few weeks later, we was at the Summer Jam backstage. We was backstage, me and my homie Green Eyes and it's me, Green Eyes. We was with Mike Conception, my brother Lil Stretch, Top Dog, Big Wives, a couple more people, right? And me and my homie snuck off to go smoke, you know. So we been dipped in the cut. We got the backstage passes on. Now, we hadn't seen Suge since this. I didn't find out this was Suge until like a week later. Suge and Heron is coming up the back way, and Suge is on the phone. He see us, and he say, "Let me call you right back." But before they get close, the homie say, "You know that is Suge?" I see it. That's Suge. He walk up and he say, "What's up, Big Green Eyes? What's up, Stretch?" He said, "I want to fuck with you and your homeboy." And he gave us some money. And then about a couple weeks later, my brother ended up signing with Death Row.
Damn. Got you. So
Like a year and a half ago.
Like you've been a prison.
Huh?
You've been a prison. You've been a prison, and you know what I'm saying, like some of you, like you was talking about like the UBN. You got the UBN on the East Coast. Is the UBN similar to on the East Coast what it is on the West?
They all connected. It's all one entity. You got UBNs, you got BLs, but I won't go into, you know, the politics because that's their thing. You know, I'm not a part of none of them, you know, but yeah, they all connected. It's one way up, but you know, yeah, it's all functional. It's all together. You know, from my understanding. But like I said, I'm not a part of that.
You had a relationship. You had a relationship with Stevie J, right? Stevie J at the time he was signed to Bad Boy. Like, was that some type of conflict of interest or your brother being signed to Death Row?
You know, actually, Big Dog, I've only been friends with Stevie J a short time. I met him through another friend, and him and I became, you know, close, and I do a little security work for him here and there, you know, but we are good friends. You know, actually, he was texting me this morning, you know what I'm saying? We FaceTime, we chop it up, you know, Stevie's a good dude, but it had nothing to do with that, you know what I'm saying?
Got you. So like you know, when it comes down to, you know, you being from Nickerson Gardens, like you from Nickerson Gardens, and what's the relationship with the industry in Nickerson Gardens? Because it's like it's a long relationship, ain't it?
You said the relationship with the Nixons and who?
In the industry, music industry.
Well, I wouldn't say going saying that. I would say this though. The Nixons been known to have been, you know, dealing with a lot of different artists. You know, they like to come back then, they like to see the projects, and they met a lot of real homies that got connected with them. You know, it's a few artists that used to come to the projects. You know, Juvie, Lil Wayne, you know, BG, you know, Baby them that came. You know, the homies they got a few people. You know what I'm saying? That they, you know, my homie probably that rest in peace. He used to have Rick Ross and a couple other cats. You know, so been a lot of connections on that level, but not as far as, you know, actually let me take that back. Top Dog, that's my homie's name dude, but that's Top Dog. He been in the music industry for a while. You know, I remember back when we first started, you know, and there was a few groups in our neighborhood actually. Juvenile Committee did a few songs with DJ Quick, and got a few, you know, few groups. But you know, Top took it to another level. You know, we know he ended up getting Kendrick Lamar, and you know, got J Rock and them, and the rest is history. You feel me on that? So there are some connections, and then Mike Conception, which is Top Uncle, you know, which is my partner, man. You know, Mike. Mike did what was that? He produced Now We On the Same Game. He produced a lot of different albums, you know, different music. So there's a somewhat connection. You feel me?
Got you. And then it was a Nicholson Garden Stevie J though, right? Yeah, it was a Nicholson Garden Stevie J too though, right?
I
It
don't
was a
know. I don't know
Nicholson Gardens,
no Stevie J.
Stevie J.
Not that I know of.
Oh, I got you. I
Stevie J,
got you.
that I know is the one who, Stevie J from Love and Hip Hop. That's my, acquaintance right there. But I don't know no Stevie J out the projects.
I got you. I got you. And like when it comes down to it, like you hear a lot going on when it comes to Takashi 69, and you got Whack 100. Like you from out there, you know what I'm saying? You from Nicholson Gardens, you know. You similar to what Whack is. Like, is it some type of like is it conversation out there that OGs is having, whether they're with him or
You
against him,
know,
as far as his decision?
I'm gonna say this, homie. Some things, you just don't speak on. Um, I actually was just FaceTiming with Whack 100 not too long ago. Um, I can't speak on why he chose to do what he did to talk to dude. He had his own, you know, um, reasons, and that's what he chose to do. I can't speak on the one way or the other. Now, me personally, I don't got nothing to say to the dude. He's worldwide known that he told he's a snitch. So, but Wack had his reasons, and whatever that may be, that was his choice. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh,
I'm
no
not,
doubt, no
yeah,
doubt.
you know what I'm saying? That was his choice. You know what I'm saying? Me and, Wack is Damu. We both Damus. And you know, um, reputable. My name ring bells. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got
But
you. So look,
it's just like I said, certain things you don't speak on, certain things it is what it is. You feel me?
like Whack 100, he spoke on. Also, he spoke on. Like when he lead the West. You know what I'm saying? He don't consider like it ain't the same like from California, like the B Dolls in California versus like in other states. Like, do you feel the same way?
I'm gonna say this: Crips and Bloods we know originated from L.A. We set trends. L.A. set trends. So now you have Crips and Blood nationwide. They're everywhere. Every different hoods is out. You got bounty hunters, you got Crips, East Coast. You got all type of different neighborhoods everywhere on the East Coast, Midwest. It's gangsters everywhere. It's killers, niggas everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the gang is concerned, there's a lot of difference because it was different when we started gang banging. When it was, I'm second right. It was a total different. You know what I'm saying? Gang banging is different from then, and you walking up the street, you're gonna get sweated, harassed, chased. You know, shot come through difference now. You don't see that as much. You see, it's changed. Things change. They in cars, dudes just riding around with guns, and whatever. But it's different. You know, um, but when you gang bang or your so-called enemy, because when it really come down to it, black on black crime is not what's happening. We not enemies. We make ourselves enemies because we've been indoctrinated with these theories. But when it comes down to it, if you are gang banging, right, which when we said gang, we didn't socialize with Crips. I had one or two that was cool with. We didn't really talk. And on the streets, that was in jail. But on the streets, we get active. You know, um, it was gang banging. We looking for them, they looking for us. We chasing, whatever it may be. It's a different era now. I don't even think a lot of these dudes even know why they gang bang or know what it's for or what it's about. Which really, to be honest, it really was never about nothing because we was misguided. You know what I'm saying? This was all part of a design and a plan to keep us divided, bro. You hear what I'm saying?
Yep, yep.
But I'm a representative, and it's front line. I'm a general from out of my neighborhood, all that. But that was something I grew up in, like I said. But when we young, a lot of us we don't have our cognitive thinking on. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we really don't start to mature until you after 25. You know, and so we was lost, bro. You know, we was doing what they call it. What everybody else is doing. Like I said, peer pressure or whatever you want to call it, influence. Was the thing to do because everybody was doing it.
So
But when I
what
look back now
mm-hmm.
and the knowledge that I've acquired now, if I know what I know now, I would have never gangbanged. I'd have never done a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to unify. We up against it from all angles, man. You know what I'm saying? These devils they got a hold on us, and until we break that chain and that way of thinking, that's the only way we're gonna bring up on the change. And the sad part about it is a lot of the youngsters are so far gone that a lot of them is unreachable. So you have to catch the real youth to be able to set a trend to make a difference in their lives because the future is theirs, and you have to show them the obstacles that they're going to be facing and teach them facts when they're growing up as kids. Teach them unity, teach them these things. If none of this is being taught within the home, then we're being taught the imperialistic way,
No
which is
doubt, no doubt.
divided.
Mm-hmm. So like it's like if it, like with all that you just said, is it like a direct message you want to send to the youth when it comes down to, what I'm saying, them having some of the same situations like as far as the upbringing right now in 2021?
I got a few things, man. I like to say, um, first of all, I've been shot, stabbed, shot again, stabbed, and it ain't fun. But been to prison, I've been to youth authority, I've been to camp, I've been to all the halls, I've been to multiple prisons, in California. And like I said, I just did 25 straight. However, what I want to say to the youth is that, that's not the way to go because we think it's cool. You know what I'm saying? And then the older cats is not really lacing the youngsters. They're not talking to them. And if they are, they're not engaging them right. You know what I'm saying? And so they unreceptive. But I'm saying to the youngsters, man, that you gotta educate yourself, get your mind right. We're not enemies. We kin, we family. And so we have to teach this to the youngsters, man. Prison is not the place to be. It's a better way, man. You know what I'm saying? Get money. The black on black, that shit ain't about nothing. You know what I'm saying? At all times, I said, man must defend himself. But because of a color, or because you live over here, but it all boils down to the parenting, bro. And see, if the parents don't know what to teach the kids, then the streets will. So that's what happens with most of us in our neighborhoods in the black communities. And the reason that happens is because this style of parenting has been passed on from generation to generation since the time of slavery. These indoctrinations was passed on, the Willie Lynch theory, all of this was done. So, you know, I feel like most black parents, we should homestead our kids first. Um, I can we pick this back up, big dog? Because I'm at an event right now.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt, man. We appreciate you touching down with us and giving us some type of insight, what I'm saying, on what's going on and how OG's coming home. Just one more thing though, like, you doing 25 years, what I'm saying, straight, like you said, like what was one of the biggest things that you might have missed the most, like, what I'm saying, besides family?
Pac said we never fear in this world, but being outside the cage, just being able to, go and eat something that you like. Okay. Going just being able to walk when you want, and not having anybody just, like I said, we still not completely free, but I miss being able to just do what I want when I want. Being able to walk outside, look at the trees, and breathe, and take a walk or go to the store. The smaller things, and that you start to appreciate. When you in that place. And that's another subject we could talk about. What I'm saying, when we get back home, man. The prison system. Because youngsters need to hear it. What I'm saying, and people need to know what's going on up in there.
Absolutely.
I walked them and I did a lot. I've been to all, like I said, mostly all the prisons. How you doing, big dog? Pretty good. How you doing? Yes, sir. I I've been to multiple prisons, man. Probably over 15, 20 prisons in my life. Transferring from prison to prison, and it's a hellhole, bro. I was doing this 25 years. I didn't know if I was gonna come home. I didn't know if I was gonna make it out of there. If I was gonna, catch another case up in there or get killed. This is prison. So, like I tell these youngsters, man, that ain't where you want to go. You lose your mind up in there, man. You can't be yourself. But
No, I appreciate that though, man. Blessings, OG. Appreciate that, man. We
yeah,
definitely
man.
gonna tap back in, man.
Yeah, I got some other things we can talk about, man. Some real shit, So we get back home when it's good. I got some at this event right now, and we finna do this little paint and sip thing.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Much love to the peoples, man.
Love.
100.
One. Yeah, man. So y'all go ahead and subscribe. Y'all can watch a lot of these episodes, past episodes on Wrong Kind East podcast. Definitely Cloud Chaser. You know what I'm saying? We definitely intertwine with all that. You know what I mean? One of the hosts, one of the guys who do the interviews. You feel me? So we gonna push content all around the board. We just had a wrap up here like earlier, you know what I'm saying, from Murder Inc., Cadillac Ty, you know what I'm saying? We just had Big Stretch. Like it's just different things going on, man. We pushing positivity, and we definitely gonna be in tune with some people from Chicago very, very soon. So stay in tune with that, man. Put your notifications on, man. If you ain't already in tune, get in tune.
We gonna put it.
It's Death for the Cloud Chaser TV. Gang.